Hello, future developers. Welcome to another tutorial ABCD. So today we'll be doing this particular UI front end, so a product preview. Okay, so we'll be using this. So I got this image from Pixabay. So just go to Pixabay and then type strawberry. You can use any image of your choice, but I went with this particular image. Okay, then just click here and then download, select and then download. Then we'll be using this library icon, ionic icons, okay, for to get this icon. Okay, so that said, let's get started. Okay, so now in VS Code, I have already created a folder, and the folder contains my images. Yeah, so contains a folder called images, and then in that folder, I have this strawberry image inside. Okay, so now I'm going to create my index file. So I'll click the plus one here. Please don't click on this, but rather this one. Okay, you can see the folder name. So I'll type index.html. Then I'm going to create another one for our main.css to help us style our documents. Okay. So now in our index.html, I'll just click shift and then the exclamation mark, and then click enter. Then it has fetched the HTML document structure for us. Okay. So I'm going to give my title. Okay. Let's say product preview. Okay, and then I'm going to go live. Okay, so go live. Okay, so we have nothing. So now let's work inside our body. So inside our body, I'm going to type create a container. So div dot container. So that's a class. And inside the div, okay, this div is going to contain all our images and the information here. So um, yeah. Now let's create for our image. Okay, I'm going to create the image. So img src. So the source, and then the source is inside our images folder. So images, and then I'm going to choose this. Okay, so because I'm using live server, which is why it's appeared here, like I didn't have to refresh. Okay, so you might want to install the extension by clicking here and then searching for live server. So I'm going to use alt. So the alt text, okay, just to help in case the image doesn't load, would have some information displayed in place of like a placeholder, or also helps for screen readers to able to read the information. So strawberry image to people who can't actually see strawberry, and I can close it here. Okay. Now I'm going to create a class. Okay, and then in that class is going to contain our information here, all this information. So let's type let me use div dot write info. So you can use write info, write underscore info. Okay, and then inside our div write our class info, write info. I'm going to start putting some elements, HTML elements. So I'm going to start with the h3. So let's use the h3, then I'll use the pound sign, and then I'm going to type title. Okay, so there's just a short way of creating an ID. So this ID is going to contain our strawberry information, as you see here, strawberry. So I'm just going to type strawberry. Okay, so you can see we have this strawberry here. better still, let's put it on the same line. Okay, let me take this. So outside the div for our class, we are going to create another container, so another class. So this class, another info to hold this one. Okay, so I'm going to type, yes, so I'm going to create an ID. So another ID, this one we use h4 dot and h4 and then the pound sign. Okay, so the reason why I'm using the ID and the pound sign is we are going to help, it's going to help us target this particular HTML elements to be able to style it in our main.css when referencing it. So h4 pound sign, then I'm going to call it sap info, sap info. So that's going to be the name of this class. So sap underscore info, then I'll press enter. Okay, so inside it, I'm just going to paste this information here. You should have it here, which is information. Okay, and then we would do, so I give another h4. So this h4 wouldn't give it a class, so h4, close it, and inside it I'll type lorem. So lorem is going to give us some dummy text, so lorem, and then let's use 20. So it's going to fetch 20 characters for us. Okay, so let's see what we have here. So 20 characters, but I'm going to go with this particular information here. So I've already copied this information, and then I'm just going to paste it inside. Okay, so let's see. Okay, now we would have to do that of our money, which is this. So I'm going to create a container to store the two. So div dot money, then inside the opening and closing tag, I'm going to start typing our money. So the money, we would want to store them individually. So I'm going to give it an h1 for the first one, h1, and then let's do h1 because I'll give it an ID. So h1 and then the pound sign. I'll call it new price underscore price. Okay. And then inside it I'll type the price that I want. So dollar, and then let's put in, let's say 159.99. Okay. And then all I have to do is I'm going to hit Shift Alt Enter. Okay, so I'll click here, Shift Alt Enter, and then put this down to get the same thing as you see here. So here we would want to strike through. So as you see here, our text has some line passing through. So we would use the strike, the S, so S closing tag. Then I'm going to copy this, Control X. Okay, first let me go to, so that we see what happens, and then I'll paste it in between the opening and closing tag of our S strike through. So you can see here a strike, or a strike, striking through or strike through.